I see you out there. Thank you so much to everybody that subscribed to this channel. It's been incredible. We've had an increase of about 500 new subscribers since all this started, and I want to just reach out through the lens and say thank you, thank you, thank you. And the reason I say thank you is because if you're subscribing, it means I'm adding value to your life. And that's my whole intention with these videos. I don't want to sell you anything. I'm not trying to, bring you to a course. I simply just want to add value to your life, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic time that we're in. And a lot of you are worried. A lot of you have no clue what to do. And so in the midst of all this craziness, I want to be that beacon of hope for you. Now, as you know, since March 13th, March 14th, I pretty much have gone into action, 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 action. Not just in my business, not just in my career, but in all aspects of my life. If you watch a few of the other videos that I posted, last week and the week before, I've lost 13 pounds. I've stopped drinking alcohol. I'm reading more than I have ever in my life before. I have an amazing, disciplined morning routine and night routine, before bed routine. My days are pretty much filled with action, action, action. I'm connecting with my family, and I'm reestablishing my relationships. And so I'm just so full of energy because I know exactly what I'm going to do. And so I want to make sure I can share the steps with you. I can share this journey with you so you too can take responsibility over your own life, and also be in a position where you can capture all the opportunities that are coming our way, because the very best possibilities are coming your way. You just have to get out of your own way. I know a lot of people right now, they're kind of contracting, they're retreating, and that's okay at the very beginning, but you know what? You have to move forward, because the truth is, we're all going to get through this. The only difference is going to be, what are you going to look like on the other side? And so I've been doing a lot of podcasts. I've been doing interviews. One day I did 4 podcasts in one day. A lot of other industry experts, whether they're in business or real estate, they just want to know my opinion and kind of my reaction to the COVID. And so I want to come to you with this video with kind of like the steps and the kind of profiles that you're going to be seeing out there. And I want you to avoid these people like the plague. I want you to avoid the type of profile of people, where they're going to just retreat. They're kind of, talking about all the things that are going wrong with the world, because there's a lot of things going right with the world right now. There's a lot of amazing things that are going right with the world right now. For example, technology is really, really a huge part of why we're all getting through this. We're not social distancing. We're physically distancing each other, but we are connected socially through online, Zoom, YouTube, lives. And so that's not social distancing. I think we're in a position where we can be even more social. More older people are using technology than ever before. A year ago, I was at the bank, and it was kind of interesting because at the teller beside me, there was an older person, maybe around 90, 95 years old, and he still had a passbook. You guys remember that? Those passbooks? He had a passbook, and he's updating his passbook. And when he left, I was talking to the bank teller, and I said, "Isn't that interesting that people still have passbooks?" And she's like, "Yeah, we still actually keep the machine to service some of these older people that still haven't transferred over to the online banking. And so that's just crazy to me. But you know what? That's the world that we were living in a month ago, right? Even at the beginning of March. And so we are living in a new world where older people now are embracing, not because they want to, because there's no choice, but they're embracing online technology, online, um, online banking. And so we're going through this transformation, and the world will never be the same again. So if you're just joining me, thank you so much. I want to, I want to reach out and say thank you to all the people that have subscribed. And if you are joining me right now, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell to be notified anytime I do a video, because I am here to give you value. I want to bring you value. So I want you to not be passive, right? So, I've been through a few of these. 1996, when I started in business, and I've been in business for a long time, but when I started back in 1996, there was a recession. I didn't know the meaning of the word. The first time I actually felt an economic downturn was in right after 9/11. And I was an investor and a business owner during 9/11 and after 9/11. And I remember the dark cloud that was over the economy. There was fear that we can go right into a full-blown recession, which everybody knows it was a mini recession. I was also an investor and a business owner during 2008. Now, during 2008, I was better equipped to handle, and I had a full understanding of how the economy works, how market cycles work. If you want to know more about market cycles and how they work, there's a video that I posted last week, and I go right into detail regarding, all the different market cycles, all the different phases, and where we are today, and where we're going. And also, I have a video regarding what I think the impact on the real estate market in particular, and what are the action steps that you should be taking today. And so I went through that 2008, remembering 9/11, and remembering all the lost opportunity, because during 9/11, business pretty much came to a halt. There was no, I couldn't get goods, goods couldn't pass the border. I mean, everything changed right after 9/11, even the feeling and in the mindset. And people just stopped spending for a little while. And, for me, I just went into protection. I went into conservation. I went into contraction. Now, when we came to 2008, that was a different story. I was better prepared and equipped. And I remember thinking, what were the opportunities that I didn't take during that mini recession that I can take on now? And so I wasn't passive. I was very much active during that 2008, 2009 recession, and I picked up even more real estate. By the time we had hit bottom, I felt like I had captured all the opportunity that was available, and that was part of my paradigm. Of course, I know more now in 2020 than I did in 2009, and now I ask myself, what are the things that I'm going to do differently this time around, where we're entering the biggest wealth transfer that our world has ever seen? I have never seen what we're seeing, the amount of money being borrowed, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. Now that's going to have a lasting effect on the economy, but we won't see the full effects of that until 6 months after they turn the lights back on in the world. And so keep that in mind as we move forward through this recession, because we are currently in a recession. And what are the things that you can do to make your situation better? Number one, you want to make sure your family's okay. Number two, you want to make sure your employees are okay, your investors. You want to make sure your tenants are okay, your investments, your lenders. And moving forward, everything's going to be different. Already in my mind, I'm not operating based on what's going on right now. I'm operating on 5 years from now, because by the time we're done, I will end up with 5,000 apartments right after this. And so it's going to be partly because of my action taking. The March 15th hit, I went right into action mode. I went right to taking care of my family, my body, making sure I'm ready. And so now I have a head start. I drove yesterday from one end of the city to the other. There's no traffic. My friends, this is a perfect time to take action. No one is in your way. No one is in your way. And if you're wondering why I went outside, well, I'm a real estate investor and I have a property management company and I'm considered to be an essential service. So please don't judge me. Don't judge me. I did go outside for a drive. At the end of the day, I want you to focus on how are you going to look like in 5 years from now. So I don't want you to be passive, because there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to sit back, watch Netflix, see what happens. They kind of react, later, right? A lot of people are going to react 6 months from now. I need you to act now. Don't be passive. Think about your business. Think about the things that you have to cut out of your business. Think about the efficiencies of your business. Make sure it's profitable and healthy. We haven't had to take a single deferral. We haven't had to lay off a single person in our organization. All of these things, you need to think about your business. And in fact, in the past 3 weeks, I've discovered a lot of deficiencies that I could just eliminate, making my business that much more profitable. And so you can do the same, not only in your household, but in your life, but in your business and everything that you do in your life. So I want you to think about that. Don't be passive. Don't be a spectator. There's people that are just sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what happens, And I want you to take action now. This is the time to take action. If you're a spectator during these times, you will always be a spectator, and chances are that you were a spectator before. Do the things that other people are not willing to do today, so you can live the life that other people wish they had tomorrow. So don't be a spectator. Don't be passive. This is not the time to contract. I lived a life, as a kid of scarcity. Everything was scarce in my life. I want you to expand. Life is about expansion, but you cannot expand and contract at the same time. You have to choose one. Either you're going to expand during this time, or you're going to contract. I suggest you expand. Think how you can grow your business. Think how you can increase the top line. Think about you hiring more people, not laying people off. There's a lot of people. This is your opportunity to hire real qualified people. This is your opportunity to get talent in your company that you could never get before, because you couldn't afford them. Now these people are sitting at home just waiting for you to give them a call. And so this is not the time to contract. This is a time to expand bigger than ever before. I told you, my 11 companies, by the time that we're done with this, all of my companies will be more profitable. They'll have more revenue. And I'll end up with 5,000 units by the end of this. You watch, because this is the time that I can expand. And guess what? I don't have any other competition. Don't be a victim. Of course, we are all hit with the same tragedy at the same time. That's the interesting part about all of this. Pandemic. The same wind blows on us all. Everybody's in the same situation. The only difference is how you are going to react to it. Are you going to be a survivor of the C-19 pandemic, or are you going to be a victim? Do you want people to feel sorry for you? Those victims right now were victims before the C-19. We're just giving someone another excuse. Now, of course, I am sympathetic to what's happening out there. And for whatever reason, if you have been impacted, not just economically, but with your health. If you have been impacted with your health because of C19, my prayers and sympathy go out to you, okay? But there's gonna have to be a line. At some point, you have to get up and go out there and get it. Get up, go out there and get it. Because if you fall down, you better make sure you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. My friends, it's not about what we lost. It's about what we're gaining as a society. And so don't sit there and feel sorry for yourself. Sit there and think about what can you do about the situation. Maybe there's a new avenue in your business. Maybe there's something new that you could do. Maybe you can hire better talent. Maybe you can go after better clients. And there's going to be the people out there that are going to be, sitting there on the sidelines and just watching the entire world decay, right? And there's going to be the people out there that actually take action, because action is going to be the key to all of this. Your key to surviving and thriving during the COVID-19 pandemic is going to be in your action taking. And there's people that are saying they take action, but they're not taking action. There's people out there that are saying they're doing things, that they're saying they're positive, but they're simply there in denial. This situation is not going to get better. Acceptance. Standing in your truth. This situation will get worse before it gets better. But that's life. The same wind blows on us all. There's not one person out there that's better off than someone else. It's all about what you do in your life and how you will take action and how you are going to get a return on investment on this C19 situation. My friends, lastly, I'm going to leave you with action, action, action. The person that takes action during these times are going to be the people that thrive and are living the life that you wish you had 6 months from now. Alfonso loves you. We always look for sexy cash flow, and we'll see you all at the top. If you love what you're hearing, you love this information, simply subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for the next video. We'll see you again.